Welcome back, everyone. Today's deep dive is a fascinating one. It's a case study, actually. And it's about this company launching a new digital identity platform
Yeah, it's really interesting.
and the journey they went on to find the absolute perfect person to kind of spearhead this whole thing,
Yeah, finding the right talent in a field like this can be really tough.
for sure. And just to give everyone some context, this isn't just some random startup. This company's already doing some pretty impressive things. They've built out this identity verification platform and a secure digital wallet for official documents.
Right.
They're already operating in 180 countries, and they have incredible user ratings.
Yeah.
But they're not stopping there. They want to become the global leader in digital identity.
Yeah, that's a pretty ambitious goal, and it speaks volumes about the growth we're seeing in this whole digital identity market. It's not just about convenience anymore, right? It's
Mhm.
really becoming essential for, security and trust in our digital world.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so they've got this great product, big goals. What's the holdup? What's the missing piece here?
Well, that's what this case study dives into. They needed a senior pre-sales or solutions consultant, I guess you could say, and they wanted them based in London.
Okay.
And this person would basically be like the technical face of the company, right? Going out there, helping win over new clients.
So someone who can really explain the tech side of things.
Exactly. They need to be able to break down those complex details and tailor solutions for all sorts of clients.
You know what really stood out to me was that they went through like 475 potential candidates.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole process took 10 weeks and 242 hours.
Like, wow. Yeah. I mean, when you think about the scope of their search, it's pretty amazing.
Right.
It shows just how much effort goes into finding the perfect person.
And looking at the job posting itself, I mean, they were looking for someone with experience in everything, like from leading technical presentations to designing system architecture to even evaluating pilot programs.
It makes sense, though, when you consider what a pre-sales role in this type of field really entails. You need someone who's super technical, but also really good at communicating that expertise to people who aren't technical.
Right, right. So not just a tech whiz, but also a people person.
Exactly.
And another thing that caught my eye was that they were offering a hybrid schedule.
Oh, right.
The person they hired would only have to go into the London office 1 or 2 days a week.
That's a great example of how companies are adapting to attract top talent these days.
For sure.
Flexibility and work-life balance are becoming more and more important, right?
Absolutely. So on top of that hybrid setup, they were also offering a salary of £100,000 plus benefits.
Wow.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
So what does that tell us about the value of this kind of expertise?
Well, it shows just how much companies are willing to invest in someone who can bridge that gap between the technical stuff and the business side of things.
Right.
These types of professionals are in high demand, and there aren't that many people out there who can do it really well.
So if they're offering such a competitive package, why was it still so difficult to find the right person? Wouldn't you think they'd be flooded with qualified people?
Well, a great salary and perks are definitely attractive, but it's not just about that.
Right.
They need someone who truly fits in with the company culture and shares their vision for the future.
So it's more than just checking boxes on a resume.
Exactly. It's about finding someone who aligns with their long-term goals.
Okay, this is where things start to get really interesting. How do you even begin to narrow down 475 candidates to find that one perfect match?
Well, it looks like they started by really carefully screening all those profiles, right?
Makes sense.
Looking for those keywords and experiences that matched what they needed.
So basically weeding out those who didn't quite have the right background.
Yeah, exactly. Then it sounds like they did multiple rounds of interviews.
Oh, wow.
First with the recruitment agency, then with the company itself.
So really thorough.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about testing their technical knowledge. They also had them do presentations and answer some scenario-based questions.
I see, so they could see how they think on their feet.
Right, exactly. And also how well they communicate.
It's amazing how much goes into finding the right person for a key position like this.
It is. It really is. It's not just about checking off boxes on a resume.
So what about the candidate they ended up choosing? Was there anything that really stood out about them?
Well, the case study doesn't go into too much detail about the person themselves,
Okay.
but it does say that they had this vision for the future of digital identity, and it just totally aligned with the company's goals.
So it was more than just skills. They really connected on a deeper level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They were both looking ahead to where this whole field is going.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me think this goes beyond just tech companies, right? Finding someone who shares your vision seems crucial for any business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially in a field that's constantly changing and growing.
This whole thing is making me think about the impact digital identity could have on all of us. I mean, we already use it for things like online banking,
Right.
but where could it go from here?
Oh, the possibilities are huge. Imagine a world where your digital identity handles everything,
Wow,
from your healthcare records to your travel documents, even voting.
that's a little scary too, though, right?
I know what you mean. Having all your personal information in one place definitely raises some concerns about security and privacy.
Exactly.
That's why it's so important to have the right people building and managing these systems.
It sounds like this pre-sales role is about so much more than just sales. It's about shaping the future of how we interact with technology.
And that's what I think makes this case study so interesting. It
Yeah.
gives us this glimpse into not just one company's hiring process, but this whole evolving field that will affect all of us.
Okay, so they found their ideal candidate,
Hmm.
someone with the skills, the vision, even willing to go into London a couple days a week.
Right.
What happened next? Did it all pay off?
It looks like they really did find the right person.
Yeah.
The case study mentions that the candidate is still with the company and that they've been super successful in landing some really important partnerships.
Wow, that's awesome. It really made you wonder, right? Like, if they hadn't been so thorough and had settled for someone who wasn't quite the perfect fit, would they be in the same place now?
That's a great question, and honestly, I don't think so.
Yeah,
It seems like finding someone who not only had the right skills but also really got their vision was key to their success.
for sure. This whole deep dive has been a really good reminder that finding the right people is so important. It's not just about filling a position, you know?
Right.
It's about finding those people who can really help you achieve those bigger goals.
I think that's something anyone listening can take away from this. Whether you're building a tech company or leading a team, anywhere those people you bring on board can really make all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like investing that time and effort up front to find the right fit can really pay off in the end.
Exactly. And in a field like digital identity, which is so complex and changing so quickly, finding the right talent can be the difference between just being another company and being a leader.
So we started with this deep dive into one company's search for a very specific role. And somehow we ended up having this much bigger conversation about the future of digital identity and the impact it could have on all of us.
Yeah, it's all connected, isn't it? And that's what makes these deep dives so interesting. You never know where we'll end up.
That's true. We've learned that the digital identity market is booming. Competition for talent is fierce. And that finding someone who can bridge the gap between the technical side and the business side is so valuable.
Yeah, and I think the biggest takeaway is that this field that might seem kind of niche actually has the potential to change all of our lives.
So as digital identity becomes more and more a part of our everyday lives, the question for all of us is, what role will we play? Will we just be passive users, or will we try to understand it and maybe even help shape where it goes?
That's a great question to think about.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a fascinating one.
Thanks for having me.
And to everyone listening, until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those questions, and keep diving deep.